Man, nothing pisses me off more than having days like this. I just can't squat. Cannot physically squat. My body is literally impossible to maneuver itself into position to squat. This is the worst squat day I've had all of this year. I've had days where I've been sore. I've had days where I've been, sore quads, sore lower back, tight, whatever. But it never felt this bad. So what's different about today? The only thing I can think about is what I did yesterday, and that's deadlift. I've not deadlifted basically all of this year. And I've had great squatting and I've had great improvements in my technique and I felt like everything was going along well. I'm not even referring to how it feels, having, this little weight on me. It's all about, the motion, how I feel going through the range of motion. It's not about the weight on the bar. It's not about any of that. I don't care what the weight on the bar is. I could be fatigued, muscles are sore, muscles are completely, wasted. But what I felt today was just inability to squat. And, it reignites that whole cascade of thoughts along the lines of conventional deadlifts and high bar squats have a very hard time coexisting. Extremely hard time coexisting because it seems like every time you deadlift, the squat suffers immensely. I've had periods where I've had very high deadlifting frequency. And squats, I remember vaguely felt better when you get accustomed to this frequency. But, doing a deadlift infrequently like I have, first freaking deadlift in like 2 months, the body just goes into this freaking spasm. My whole posterior chain is just unable to fold. I basically can't, I don't have passive hip flexion. I can't bend at the hips. My lower back is, wanting to butt wink. It wants to round. And so my body locking that whole area down means that I can't freaking squat. It means I have to lean over. It means I have to lever into a squat rather than go straight up and down. It's just, it's an awful feeling. It's something that I've dealt with on and off for freaking many years. But now that I've been away from the deadlift for such a long period of time and I've come back, it's like clear as anything. It's so hard for them to coexist. In fact, what's that guy's name? It's escaped my mind now. The really good deadlifter, the sumo deadlifter. My God, what's his name? He hits 1,000 pounds every other day. For some reason, his name has escaped my mind. No, I can't think of it. I heard him talk about this the other day. He was basically saying, that's right. It was Larry Wheels and him, and I can't think of his freaking name. They were doing a workout together, and Larry Wheels was picking his mind about the sumos and why sumos and whatever. And he said he found that sumo deadlifts were better existing alongside squatting. And so that kind of stood out to me because conventional deadlift, as his experience is as well, it's so hard on the squat, man. It's so hard on the squat. Today, obviously, I'm going to be sore. And I have soreness in the traps, lower traps, erectors, nothing in the hamstrings, nothing in the glutes. It's just the back. The back is sore. But because of that, or maybe some other things are happening, which I, don't know what's happening, the squat feels horrible. I don't feel weak. I just feel like I am so out of position that I just can't get there. And so today I thought, okay, screw it. This is clearly not going to work. So I thought, let me do something that's going to pump some blood into the posterior chain, stretch it and strengthen and pump it up a little bit. So I thought, let's do RDLs. I thought about good mornings. One of you guys said, seated good mornings yesterday. That was also crossing my mind. I thought, let's do RDLs. That's a very easy thing for me to do, and I'm not going to get frustrated. Like when I can't squat, I'm automatically pissed off. It's just the way I am. So much freaking effort is going into this, and I rock up on day 11 and 80, and I can't squat. I just feel like smashing my hand through a brick wall. So I went, okay, let's go to something that's bread and butter for me, RDLs. And I did RDLs. I did 3 sets of 20. I did bar 60 and 80, or was it bar 60, 70, 80, something like that. Went back to squat. Still feel shit. Still feels crap. I don't know. I don't know why the deadlift has that effect on me, but This is why for the longest time, I used to think to myself, it's the posterior chain. It has to be the posterior chain that's really locked up, really weak, or whatever the case might be. And you know, that's why I can't squat, because of my experience with the deadlift side effect, which is this: the moment you hit the deadlifts, all of a sudden everything goes to shit. But there was a time that did both together quite well. But now, my point is, when you've had just squatting and no deadlifting, and you've had such a good experience, and you know, it's like a clear comparison. It's clear, you know, how good it was without the deadlift. Squatting just feels easier. My whole body started to morph itself, started to adapt for the squatting motion, right? The deadlift is simply a hip hinge. And so I do deadlifts yesterday, today, my body's like, okay, we are hip hinging for the rest of our lives now. And that is not what the squat is about. The squat is an up and down motion, not a hinge. So it's like the body, even this morning when I was waking up, man, I woke up and I was like, God damn, like, you know, my posterior chain is so tight that I couldn't even reach my like feet, you know, to get up. It's really strange. So what now? Oh, I don't know what now. I'll continue going along the lines of that I have been. And I'm still thinking about whether I should introduce some sort of posterior chain. The reason why I'm so hesitant with all of this is because right now I'm doing a 3-day split. And it's very, very basic. And I love the fact that it's really basic. So one day I do push-ups. One day I come in and I try to do something for the other side of push-ups. So something like bicep curls, hammer curls, something along those lines. I'll do that on that day. And on the third day, I do lots of squatting, as in bodyweight squatting. That's kind of the emphasis of each of those days. Push-ups, biceps, squats. The reason why squats are so low frequency is because, well, I'm trying to get to 1,000 freaking bodyweight squats, and that literally kills me. So I've tried to do every other day, way too much. I think twice a week or every third day is plenty for me. So the other 2 days are just basically, you know, push-ups and biceps. Now, if I'm going to throw in something like RDLs or good mornings, where does that go? Where does that go? You know, right now I'm thinking it's probably going to go on the bicep day, because the bicep day is probably the easiest. Now, each of these days obviously has the squat, the barbell squat. I come in after I've done all of the focus for the day. I come in and I work up to a heavy single, whether it's a front squat or a back squat, so whatever I decide on the day. No volume with the bar, nothing like that, because I'm getting the volume with the bodyweight squats. So if I'm going to throw in RDLs now and ask the body to recover from that, depending on how I hit it, it's getting really tricky. Like, you know, I'm really trying to leave a lot of recovery points for a lot of these push-ups and a lot of these bodyweight squats. Like, those two things are taking a lot out of me. Sometimes the push-ups take all day, man, right? Bodyweight squats, same thing. Sometimes it takes 5 hours to get through them. Obviously, I'm not sitting there just doing that, but, you know, I'm spreading them out and trying to get to like a maximum, you know, total volume, maximum reps kind of thing. So if I throw in RDLs, you know, that's another compound movement and it could be quite expensive again. Anyway, that's what's on my mind, and really frustrating day. Didn't really want to really exist. I didn't want to train. The moment I felt the bar on my back, I'm like, man, this is shit. It just feels horrible. And when squats feel horrible, I'm in a sour mood. Anyway, hopefully tomorrow I feel a little bit better, but it's likely I'm not going to feel better, because that's what deadlifts do, man. They tighten your whole freaking neck all the way down to your coccyx and lower, probably hamstrings and whatever. So I'm thinking now, like, if you're going to start deadlifting, maybe the answer to all of this is just to stretch like a maniac and have the deadlifts you know, come in on, I don't know, on the bicep days and just work up to a heavy single deadlift. Forget about the RDLs, just do the deadlift and just try and stretch the hell out of the posterior chain to prevent this tightening of the freaking posterior chain. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. For now, I'm going to relax a little bit and go to night shift, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace out.